What are you doing here? You want a bit of news? You want a bit of drama? All right, so we talk about The Punisher that came out a couple of days ago, where there was a certain shot that people started talking about. But someone from Marvel, apparently, has come out to try to debunk it. But so we break it down a little bit. Let's go. So with The Punisher One Last Kill coming out the other day, people noticed this scene that just seemed a bit off. It didn't fit in with the whole shot. A lot of people were saying it's bad VFX. Marvel were trying to say it's in camera, so it's all real. We'll break that part down in a second, but we'll go to the claim. Sorry about the blinding. For some reason, hang on. I am blinded no more. Okay. So apparently there was issues with audios as well. This is from the Hollywood Reporter. First bit is about the audio and everything, talking about that. But then they go into, but a close source to the production tells Hollywood Reporter that this is a real in-camera shot. He performed the beginning of the fall, and his stuntman took over for the impact shot. There is some VFX, however, which might explain some of the wonkiness. The stuntman's face was swapped for Burnful. I don't know how to say his last name. Burnfools. Shane from The Walking Dead. So it goes on to say, as fans get more about the special effects and AI clips online, spotting VFX errors have become a bit of an online pastime, and sometimes a fake VFX shot can turn out to be real after all. The thing is, a lot of people don't realise with VFX, the best VFX is the VFX you don't see, because if you see it, it's normally bad. The best VFX is the shit you don't see, and there's a lot of it. Even in places you don't expect VFX to be, there's VFX. Trust me, there is. So I think this whole so because we're in a time where we've got to with technology, and people are expecting things to pretty much be fucking perfect. Not beat around the bush about that. People do expect everything to be perfect. That's not always going to be the case, especially in movies and TV and games and all that lot. There's going to be wonky shit here and there. This is a single shot, but the thing why I'm talking about this is because if someone from the production has actually come out and said that they're lying, they're doing the same thing that the fucking retards did with the Barbie movie when that came out, saying there was like next to no VFX in that, where the movie was just pretty much VFX galore. We're at the stage where people hear VFX and they think bad. I don't get why we're at this stage. VFX is good when it's used right. There is a lot of crap with VFX, and I think people use VFX a bit wrong in certain aspects as well. But it's when people are pretending that something's real when it's actually very heavily like simulated or animated or anything like that. It's the dishonest fucking outcomes of Hollywood trying to pretend that the VFX artists behind the scenes are doing shitloads of work and nothing. That's what pisses me off about it. And that's the only reason I'm talking about it, because it's a very quick shot. Yes, it looks fucking bad. There's no beating around the bush of that. And there's some pretty easy ways to fucking fix it, to be honest. And I'm quite surprised Marvel has pushed this out. But the whole thing with the Punisher, it was a bit weird, because it was going to be, if I'm not mistaken, it was supposed to be like a series. Then it turned into a movie. Then it turned into an hour-long special, and then take away credits and stuff like that. And it's turned into like a 40-minute thing. I haven't watched it yet, because I'm in the middle of catching up on the Daredevil and Punisher series from the past, because I didn't watch them back in the day, because I tried watching the Daredevil series back when it first came out. I watched the first episode and I was like, nah, I just never went back to it. That's my mistake. So I'm trying to catch up on it now. So I did quickly fast forward to the full scene of this, like actually in the feature. And the way they're probably getting around this and saying they're not lying is when he gets nudged off the roof, there's a part where they show the back of him. So that might have been the actual actor, because it was only like a little fall. Then it turns to his face and he shoots. Then it cuts again quickly, and then it goes into this. So the first 2 shots, I'd say, are in camera with the removal of wires and some background cleanup. So this third shot here, right here, this is where it's fell off from. So this is the roof. This is the top of the roof, basically. And there's a guy there. That's in camera, this part here. If you can see where my mouse is, you should be able to. Him falling off, the timing and everything is very off. And I'm going to break down why I believe this is a full body replacement. It all comes down to mainly when he falls. It doesn't make sense of where he is, but that could be just an editing thing. It doesn't make sense where he is in the air. But then you've got the timing of when he actually falls and everything going around him. So look at his head when he falls. Look at the and kick back there. That's delayed by about 10 frames from where it should be. That kickback should be there. It should be there. The kick, hit, and kick back. But it's gone hit, kick back. It doesn't make any fucking sense. And this is also where I'm starting to believe that they may have used a bit of AI or an intern to do this, because if an actual animator did this, they would have probably got moved off a key shot and shoved back into the background shots, because it fucking stands out like no tomorrow. All the stuff around him, this is basically a simulated. So to simulate this, you need a hard body object to actually fall on it in your program. And I don't think that's, and I think the hard body thing is actually here rendered. It's because this is not the actor. Just look at the movements. If you watch the arms, they make no sense. Like touches, there's no bounce back up, which if you hit something with that kind of impact, you would have bounce back up. It would bounce. It would bounce and settle. It's where you're getting the overlap. The head makes no sense because you get an overlap of the impact way too late. Then it's like the foot here. Watch this foot, his left foot on the right of the screen. When he impacts, it floats. Then he kicks like a baby. That would have made impact. It would have bounced off. Like, ignoring all the flaring and stuff, just look at where your impacts are. There's no actual overlapping on the impacts. He would have 100% let go of that gun as well. And look where he gets the impact there on that, on his right arm. And he gets the impact there. People are saying it's because it's slowed down. Speed this up, see if it gets any better. It doesn't. When you put this with the shots that are going around it, that's where it feels very disjointed, because you do have it in camera 2 shots before where it's actually falling, and that's where it drags it out a bit, but that's a cinematic thing. Drags it out. Then as soon as this shot finishes, it goes to the side shot of where he landed, and it goes back to in camera. But if I was going to fix this, I wouldn't have done the impact like this. I would have done the impact from the side. You could sell it a hell of a lot more. You could actually have it in camera then, because you could have the stuntman and the crash mat could have been a bit lower down. Then you just get the stunt actor to oversaturate some of the impact. So then it like flares above it. So it still looks like there's impact, but you don't really see it all, so you can sell it better. Problem is, we're at the stage where we must show everything. But when you're doing this looks very AI, because I'm pretty sure they probably have. This is either very rushed, an intern's done it, or they've used AI. They've used AI to actually do this, because it doesn't make sense. And because that's what AI does best. It doesn't make sense. And that's what it screams to me. The outside of the impact of the actual silver object, I'm guessing it's like a roof aircon unit or something. That makes sense for VFX, because it looks like a simulation. Whereas when you go even further into it, look at his clothes. I just noticed that as well. Look at this foot again. Then look what happens to the shoelace. It's like, I'm here, I'm gone. hang on. It's like someone pulls it. It's simulated. The clothes are simulated. You can tell the clothes are simulated because you get like weird after jiggle. Kind of just goes like that at the bottom of his trousers. And also here on the hoodie. These creases aren't making much sense with how he's stretching. Like if he's stretching that, this would be coming up more and there wouldn't be so much creases here. If they just wanted to lie completely and people want to believe it, fair enough. I'm just giving my input of this, that this is 100% a full body replacement. And I wouldn't be surprised if from where this ledge is, because where it is, you got a person and you got a ledge, that's a perfect place to have basically to have it where you can go from real life to in Maya, basically. So this is probably all replaced here. And lighting sells it a little bit as well. Lighting does sell it. Because when you get the bit of metal go over his head like this, impact his arm, he throws it to the side, which makes no sense because his fingers like do a weird boom. You see that? It just goes boom. There's a weird twitch when he pushes that away. Like his finger just appears. Without actually having to be able to put it in a program and go shot by shot, frame by frame. It'll be a bit harder to explain that and find, but you can see it if you look carefully. A lot of the tells are like all this flailing, lack of impacts, delayed impacts. Then it's like here. I love when people slow down a shot times 10,000 and find something like this. How dare you make him look like CGI? They should have just thrown him instead. A seasoned animator could have done a better job, even if the final rendering was a bit shit, because the final rendering here looks fine. There's a little bit of problems with the lighting here where it doesn't actually, when that goes, it doesn't relight his face, because you would have the sun up here and it goes dark because this goes over, but then they're trying to say that his arm is enough to carry on giving that amount of darkness to his face. No. It would have lit up a little bit more than that. This isn't timed down that much. And when you slow things down, that's when you do see problems. When you speed this up, it looks equally as shit, because if it doesn't look good slowed down, it's not going to look sped up. It's not going to look good sped up. Easy as that. So yeah, people have slowed this down to try and make their point. But you can still, when you actually watch it, you look at this and go, oh, that wasn't right. Something felt off. And without slowing it down, a lot of people won't see what's off. It's only people that have actually done this for fucking work and stuff that could see like, oh, it's because of this and this and that. It's fine to say something looks off. It's fine to pick points at a 2-second shot in something and say, what the fuck are we doing? Because this could have been a cheaper fix. But I'm still saying that they've used our AI, so it probably won't be a fucking cheaper fix. They've just, where the shot is, it's wrong, and that's why loads of people are pointing at it. At the end of the day, this is Marvel. They do a lot of ambitious stuff, so when you get to like the smaller scenes, they've already wasted a lot of budget, so they take a lot of shortcuts, so they have a lot of dodgy VFX shots. Been a thing for a long time with them, and to be honest, mocapping is normally a big problem with them, because their cleanup animators that they have on the mocapping, I think it's maybe they're stretched with time or just fucking lazy, but they leave a lot of crap in there that shouldn't be in there, like a lot of fucking computer jittering that shouldn't be part of it, that needs to be cleaned out. So them keys were just like false inputs and things like that, but they just leave them in because they are idiots. So yeah, basically this is my whole argument with that Punisher shot. At the end of the day, does it matter? No. If people complain about it, is it fine? Yeah, you want to complain about it, complain about it. Does it make the show bad? I don't know, I haven't watched it. Apparently it is a bit meh, because there's not much of the actual Punisher. Apparently he's just going around moping a lot of the time, which Makes a little bit of sense with the Punisher, but if that's pretty much the whole show, didn't he have 2 seasons before? Is there not enough of it in that? I don't know. I'm catching up on it at the moment. I'm on season 2 of Daredevil, so that's where I am. So I'm not going to say much about that, because when I get to this, I'll probably make a video about the newer side of like how when Disney took over it, because I'm enjoying Daredevil at the moment. It's actually good. I'm fucking kicking myself for actually not watching it, because the first 2 seasons are really fucking good. I'm really enjoying them. But as I said, does it make or break the show? A VFX shot? No. Can it take you out of like when you're watching it and it gives you like 2 minutes of going, that felt a bit weird. Why did that feel weird? And that's what the problem is. When you go and learn anything to do with VFX, 3D modeling, 3D animation, actually using Houdini and learning the actual special effects side of it and all that kind of stuff, even editing, things like that, you were taught if you're doing your job properly, people don't know that you're there. You can see you're here in this shot. So if this actually has hands on it, if it has your modelers and your animators and your simulators and on this, you're just doing your job at the end of the day. But I don't know, maybe you should have done a little bit of overtime to make it work a bit better. And I think with some good animation, this shot could look a hell of a lot better. It would still look off with the simulated with the clothes, but that's a lot harder to get right and takes a lot more time going through simulations until one works. Then you bake it on, all that shit. Then you have to change slight bits of animation to make things work properly and stuff like that. And even lighting and the whole shot, the edit is off in my opinion. But yeah, if you're looking at this producer or director wise, you should have changed how you done this shot. You didn't need camera to show the actual impact from this direction, from top down. You could have done it from the side and sold it a hell of a lot better without all this baby flaring as well, because that looks fucking ridiculous. And I know no actor's doing that when they're falling, because it's not natural. There's a lot of unnatural movements here. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Give us a little cheeky like and follow. You know you want to. It won't hurt. Go on. Go on. And until next time, bye-bye.